What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video and wow, 4 weeks in a row I'm uploading. I'm actually being consistent for once. Anyways, I'm back from my holiday and a few days ago a new Pokemon has been announced for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and it's, interesting. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are less than 2 months away, so I decided for this week's video to give my opinion on every new Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet that has already been revealed so far, even though I had other videos planned for this week, but I didn't really have much motivation to do them. So far, 17 new Pokemon has been introduced to us, one being a regional variant, and so I have quite a lot to get through. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into the starters of Paldean. In my opinion, these starters were interesting when they were first revealed. And the two that stood out to me the most were Sprigatito and Fuecoco. Quaxly, in my opinion, does not really look all that cool. It didn't pop out to me, but I'm usually not a fan of water-type starters in the first place, aside from Popplio, so it kind of makes sense. The other two, on the other hand, I see a lot of potential. Sprigatito is the second starter Pokemon to be based on a cat, and I was not a big fan of Incineroar, but I have high hopes for Sprigatito, and is most likely the one who I'll probably pick as my starter for the games. I could see it turn into some sort of saber-toothed tiger, but I don't mind if it becomes bipedal, even though the majority of the Pokemon community wants it to stay quadruped. I hope it gets a cool secondary typing, because last generation, the starters didn't get a second typing, which was very disappointing. But I could maybe see a fairy type or steel type Sprigatito evolution, maybe even a psychic type Sprigatito evolution. But what do you all think? What seems most likely to me is probably poison type for obvious reasons, its nickname being Weed Cat. But overall, it's a cute Pokemon and has very great potential. Fuecoco, the second crocodilian starter, also has a lot of potential in my opinion. It is the first fire starter to break the Chinese zodiac theory, but there is still a chance it might turn into some sort of serpent to represent the snake zodiac. Fire dragon, fire ghost, fire ground, fire rock are all typings that I can see it gaining as it evolves, but as long as it isn't a firefighting or a single type, I'll be fine. It has potential to be in like awesome serpent-like, basilisk-like Pokemon, or a dinosaur-like Pokemon. But I want to see it turn into a Sarcosuchus fire Pokemon, or even better, a Caprosuchus type Pokemon, because Caprosuchus are cool as hell. And I really want to see it get turned into a Pokemon. A very fun and cool Pokemon Fuecoco is, and that name is also pretty fun to say, Fuecoco. And it would be like my second choice if I were to replay the game, which I'll 100% most likely play the game once or twice again. Like probably a lot of times again. And lastly, we have Quaxly. Overall, not impressive. And I can only see water, flying, or pure water type for its evolution. But I hope the evolution proves me wrong, as it's not really a bad Pokemon, but it just could be better, and compared to the other two, it's not really that impressive. Next up is the box art legendary Pokemon, Koraidon and Miraidon, or as I like to say, Koraidondies. Anyways, when they were first introduced in that cinematic trailer, I thought to myself that they were both going to be these monstrous beasts of the past and the future, that all the people of Paldean worshipped these magnificent kaiju-like Pokemon, and they were going to destroy everything, only for Game Freak to turn them into the trainers' personal bikes and ruin them completely. I've been very good at evading leaks, and I don't really know anything about the current leaked information of Scarlet and Violet, but I really hope there's something there that makes these legendaries cooler than they are currently, because going from the previous generation, the heroic legendary weapon dogs known as the heroes of many battles that stopped the giant hand monster thingy and protecting Galar, to turning into lizards that are bikes, is a big downgrade for a Pokemon that is supposed to be considered legendaries for their region. And for typings, I'm sure they're both going to be part dragon type, like without a doubt. They're both going to be half dragon type. But their secondary typing, I'm unsure. For Miraidon, probably Dragon Fighting, Dragon Fire, Dragon Rock seems reasonable, Dragon Normal also seems reasonable. But for Miraidon, maybe Dragon Electric or Dragon Steel makes the most sense, but it's likely that they are both not Dragon Fire and Dragon Electric at the same time because of Reshiram and Zekrom already being Dragon Electric and Dragon Fire, respectively. And overall, they're pretty cool Pokemon in my opinion. I wish they kept these legendaries more powerful looking with their presentation, but I can't really say anything too bad because they're still pretty cool legendary Pokemon, and I can't wait to use them in battle as they look really strong. For the next three Pokemon, they were all revealed in the same trailer, so I'll talk about all of them in one group. So from these three, Smoliv and Pawmi aren't really that interesting to me. I mean, Pawmi is adorable. Like you can't say it isn't. Like Pawmi is adorable, but it's just a Pikachu clone, and all Pikachu clones aren't really that good. I mean, they're cool and cute, but there's not really one that I would say like I would want to use for my main team, or that would be like my personal favorite. And it's just a standard Pikachu clone that probably won't evolve, so there's really nothing much to say about its potential other than it's just really adorable. Smoliv, on the other hand, is Grass Normal, which is a unique typing that only the Deerling line had before, and there is a chance that it evolves into something cool, but my opinion of it is kind of like Oddish and Gloom, where it's decent and might evolve into something usable when it evolves, like Volbloom, but not all that interesting. It does have a great name, though. I can't really picture any evolution in my head for Smoliv, so I'm curious to find out what Game Freak has in store for this little guy. Lastly, Lechonk. And my god, what a name this is. This generation might have the best Pokemon names in my opinion, like Lechonk, Fuecoco, Sprigatito, Koraidon, Miraidon, Cetitan, and more. And people say that like Lechonk might be the regional rodent of Paldea, like the Rattata, the Sentret, the Zigzagoon type Pokemon, but for Paldea, which I personally disagree with, mostly because Lechonk is a pig, and pigs aren't rodents. And as much as I love Lechonk and its name, I can see a good, cool, like normal ground type boar Pokemon for its evolution, and it has like a lot of potential to be like a cool Deodon or Entelodon Hell Pig type of creature Pokemon, like those prehistoric giant boars that were carnivorous. But I feel like most people are gonna probably put an Everstone on it, and regardless of what it evolves into, because like who doesn't love Lechonk? And unless its evolution is called something like Lethic, then people are probably just gonna keep it as a Lechonk. The next three Pokemon were also revealed in the same trailer, so I'll group them up again. And oh my Arceus, Paldean Wooper is amazing. I already love regular Wooper, but Poopy Wooper is also adorable. And Poison Ground is a really cool typing, and I can't wait to see if they have a new evolution or a Paldean Quagsire. And in an unpopular opinion, I think Quagsire is as good, or if not even better than Wooper, and even more adorable, so I can't wait to see what they have in store for Paldean Wooper. Like, the potential is endless, but it's already a great Pokemon anyways. The next is Cetitan. And Cetitan is most likely the first fully evolved non-legendary Pokemon that they introduced, as I can see it have a pre-evolution, but can we talk about how cool this name is, Cetitan? Enough about names. My opinions on this Pokemon is kind of like Duraludon, where I really like it when it first was introduced, but I feel like it's very difficult to capture, or is only capturable late game, so it might not be a part of my team, but I really would like to use one. It's a really cool Pokemon, no pun intended, and if it does get an evolution, Ice Dragon is a type I really want to see on a non-legendary Pokemon, because it's only a part of the Kyurem Black, Kyurem White. But I think it's fine as it is. If it does get an evolution, it's not the end of the world. Fidough is adorable, and that's really all I can really say about it. It has a clever name, and the only thing I could really say it has potential in is if it was to evolve and you have to cook it and it turns into like a cool fairy fire type after you cook it. But it's probably just gonna turn into a bigger fairy type dog like Bolton and Yamper. Like, it's not my favorite Pokemon revealed so far, but I don't hate it, but I don't like it as much as other people. The next two weren't revealed at the same time or the same trailer, but I'll talk about both of them here anyways, as they're both just standalone Pokemon. And Cyclizar and Grafaiai are cool standalone Pokemon, but they have potential to be bad. Let me explain. Grafaiai is an interesting take on an II Pokemon, which is a cool animal that deserved a Pokemon counterpart, and I was personally hoping it would be a Pokemon because IIs are cool. And I was hoping it was also going to have a cool gimmick ability relating to like eating berries and its like finger thingy and its poison, but it didn't get a new ability, so its gimmick is most likely just going to come from its signature move. And I feel like the move will change types based on the berries, kind of like Natural Gift, but maybe without consuming the berry or something. And I don't see it getting an evolution as well, which is my fear for it, as it might be like a Paldean cast form, if you know what I mean. So let me explain. A cool gimmick Pokemon, a cool move set, like a good move set in terms of cast forms move set, and both have interesting design, but cast form has awful stats, and I'm afraid that like Grafaiai will also have awful stats, making it not usable, even though both of them, cast form and Grafaiai, really have like cool gimmicks and cool designs, but are just let down by their horrendous stats. But if Grafaiai does get an evolution, this might fix the problem, or they can just make Grafaiai really strong in the first place. So it does have the potential to be a bad Pokemon. But overall, apart from like game wise, it looks really cool and is a really cool take on a II Pokemon. Cyclizar, on the other hand, would have been a cool Pokemon if Koraidon and Miraidon didn't exist. In my opinion, legendary Pokemon with evolution lines shouldn't exist, as it takes away from the speciality of being a legendary Pokemon and making them like feel weaker, in my opinion. And I really hope Cyclizar doesn't evolve into Koraidon or Miraidon, or even be like considered present Koraidon or Miraidon, and Koraidon being like the past variant, and Miraidon being the future variant. I hope that's not the case. I hope the only relation I wanted to have with Koraidon and Miraidon is like a Carbink Diancie style of relationship, where Koraidon and Miraidon are just one Cyclizar that has been mutated or just simply built different compared to all the other Cyclizar, and which caused it to turn into a whole new Pokemon in the past and the future, something like along those lines. But the only positive about it is that its shed tail move is pretty cool, and I hope it evolves into something that isn't the legendaries, which will probably make me like them. But for now, Cyclizar isn't one of my favorites. Now onto the unpopular opinion: Armerouge and Ceruledge. At first, I didn't like these two, and I still kinda don't. I'm not against humanoid Pokemon in any way. In fact, I like a lot of humanoid Pokemon. Hatterene, Gallade, Bisharp, Lucario, Toxtricity, just to name a few on top of my head. But these two fell a bit off for me. Ceruledge, however, is the one that I kind of like more out of the two, and is growing on me more, while I still don't like Armerouge, which is kind of bad for me, as I'm most likely going to get Scarlet, and these are both version exclusives. Armerouge just looks like a Fire Mega Man Power Ranger type character to me, and they both don't really look like Pokemon. And this is coming from me, and I'm someone that said Ultra Beast looked like normal Pokemon. If they were legendary Pokemon, which isn't revealed yet, if they are or not, but they most likely are, their overall reveal and presentation was awful and left a bad impression for me. Like, in my opinion, they were really revealed awfully. They had a horrible presentation. when the box art legendaries were revealed, they had this cinematic trailer that made them look badass, while these two were just put into a random trailer with other random Pokemon and game mechanics and random new game stuff that were revealed, which makes them feel less special. And even being presented in the trailer, I would say that Cetitan and Grafaiai were presented more like legendaries than these two. Like Ceruledge is growing more and more on me the more I look at it and the more I see its potential, but I can't really say much about Armerouge. And they both were just really disappointing in general. If they had like separate trailers just for them or like a cinematic cutscene in the trailer, it would have been much cooler. And I would have had probably a different impression of them at first, which would make them like make me have a better opinion on them as a whole. And this is like a very controversial opinion to me, well, probably to everyone. But what do you all think? Tell me in the comment section below. What do you guys think of Armerouge and Ceruledge? Oh, and now for the most controversial opinion of them all, Klawf and Wiglett. I don't like Klawf. It's dumb, it looks stupid, I hate that it's getting so much love when I'd pick Krabby, Dwebble, and Crabrawler over this garbage. And Krabby is literally just a crab. Like, its name isn't even anything special. And the only thing that's really cool about it is its Anger Show ability. And it's actually, yeah, a pretty cool ability. But it would have worked even better for a Pokemon like Turtonator, which I really love. So far, my least favorite Pokemon from Paldean. And to be honest, Klawf belongs more in a pot of boiling water and on my dinner plate more than in a Pokemon game. Sorry to all the Klawf fans out there, but Klawf's gotta go. I mean, I also think that it won't even get an evolution to save it because of its Stony Cliff Titan thingy, which I feel like other Pokemon deserve that title, that name more than just an oversized Klawf. Like, it's so bad. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Moving on. Wiglett is the final Pokemon, and it was just revealed a few days ago. And unlike Klawf, it isn't as bad of a Pokemon, but all I can really say about it is that it's really weird. Honestly, like it's cool to see a Pokemon that's somewhat related to another Pokemon, but is a completely different species, not a regional variant. But its execution was really weird as like a Garden Eel Pokemon, I think it's based on. I could be wrong. But my theory is that Wiglett, like, the thing you see right now, is the top part of a giant monstrous predator that is below underground. And the Wiglett that you see is simply used to attract prey that eats Diglett or something that like tries to eat the garden eel, and the monster below will try to eat whatever comes and attacks the Wiglett on its head. But that's just a random theory I have. It's probably just a Wiglett. And I hope for its evolution that it doesn't just multiply by 3, however, and actually gets a cool new evolution. Like, as long as it evolves, obviously. And it's not a bad Pokemon, however, it's just really weird in my opinion. So what do y'all think about that? So what do y'all think? Was I too nice? Was I too harsh? What do you think of all the Pokemon revealed so far? Like, question of the day. Let's start this question of the day. What is your favorite Pokemon that has been revealed so far? Favorite new Pokemon? Mine has got to be Paldean Wooper because like, it's just too adorable. But if that doesn't count because it's a regional variant, then my favorite is probably like Cetitan. But write your answers down in the comment section below. This video was made for fun, and it's okay if you disagree. So just tell me in the comment section your opinions in a non-mean way, please, and let's have a discussion. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as it does motivate me to put more effort into making videos. And that being said, see you all next week.